Hi, I'm Amy from Explore Yoga, and today I'm going to show you some myofascial release. Actually, it's indirect myofascial release for the IT band. Our IT band runs from our hip down to below our knee, and while it's really common for people to roll it out, it's not very effective. So I'm going to show you a few techniques today that's going to target some of the surrounding tissue, and we're going to start with our feet. I'm going to be using these two myofascial release balls. I have a blue rad round and a green rad round. But if you don't have these, you're welcome to use a tennis ball for any of the exercises that we're going to do. All right, let's get started with the feet. So we're going to take this blue ball, and you're just going to set it kind of right on the bottom of the foot, right in the center. So here we're targeting the plantar fascia of the feet, which is the fascia that runs on the bottom side of the feet there. And you're just going to allow the body to get heavy. Maybe gently press into the ball. And we don't want this to be painful, but you might experience a little tenderness, a little discomfort. We're not going to be here for very long. We're just going to hang out for a few breaths. And then take a step back with the opposite foot and roll the ball to the mound of the big toe. And all you're going to do is start to fan the ball back and forth between the big toe mound and the little toe mound. So we're just moving across that tissue on the bottom of the feet, starting to release some of the tightness. And from there, we're just going to roll the ball to the heel and start to kind of lean a little bit of weight onto the heel. Not too much again. We don't want to feel any pain. Something manageable. And for this one, if you don't have really good balance or you're working on your balance, feel free to take this one up against a wall. And then finally, we're just going to roll the ball out in any which way you want to, any place that feels good. You're just going to roll the ball around. Good. And then release the ball and just stand with both feet next to each other and just experience the difference in both of your feet.
Okay, so the second technique that we're going to do here is for the calf muscles. So all we're going to do is take either your tennis ball, which might be a little large for this one. I like the green rad round. And we're going to do this from a child's pose. So with knees separated, big toes touching, we're going to take the ball and just place it right on the meaty part of the calf muscle and just slowly sit back into child's pose. And all we're doing here is allowing the ball to compress between the tissues. I'm just going to sit here for about 10 breaths. If it gets to be too much, you're welcome to grab some props and place some underneath the forehead or the arms. If you notice a little space opening up, feel free to crawl the fingertips back and kind of sink into the ball just a little bit more. Let's take 2 more breaths. Good. And just slowly start to walk your hands back. Reach back for the ball. And maybe take a moment to just sit in hero pose and notice how it feels from side to side.
This next one, we're going to use the green ball again, and we're going to target some of the muscles on the lower leg. So we're looking to target the peroneal muscles, the tibialis anterior, just a few of these lower leg muscles. And it doesn't have to be an exact placement, so we're just going to find some place that feels good and see if we can sit with it. And for this one, we're going to take a sleeping swan or a half pigeon pose and take the ball right underneath the leg and then just kind of start to lean into it. And you should know from leaning into it if that's about as far as you can go, or if you can crawl your arms a little further forward. Coming down onto the forearms potentially, maybe dropping the weight of the head. And feel free to kind of move the ball around a little bit if you're sensing other areas of tension. And for this one, it's sometimes nice to grab a yoga block and place it underneath your forehead. We'll take just a few more breaths here. Just using the weight of your upper body to press into that lower leg gently. How about one more breath? Good. And slowly start to press your way out. And release the ball. For this next one, we're going to target the TFL using the green rad round. So the TFL muscle is kind of this front hip pocket muscle. So if you were to imagine placing your hand in a pocket, that's approximately where this ball is going to go. And you might even sit back and kind of roll your leg from side to side. You'll feel the muscle moving around on the front of the hip there. And then you can place the ball right about where you're feeling it. And then we're going to lie down on our side. I like to have a yoga block nearby that I can grab and place underneath my head. And this lower leg is just going to stay long down on the ground. And the back leg there is going to stay bent. And we're going to use that back leg just as a lever. So you might come up onto your toes to roll forward onto the muscle there. You might move around just a little bit. Good. Might just find that one place that feels really good and decide to stay right there. And we'll take just a few more breaths here. Let's take just two more. When you're done, you're just going to reach down and grab a hold of the ball, move the block out of the way, and roll down onto your back. And just notice the changes again from side to side. For this last one, we're going to use the green myofascial release ball once again, or a tennis ball, and we're going to be targeting our glutes. So go ahead and lay down on your back. And I like to start with a bend in my knees on this one. And we're just going to take the ball and just kind of lean over a little bit so you can place the ball right about in the center of the glutes. The arms can do whatever you like. I'm going to take mine into cactus arms. And then just take a few breaths just to allow the weight of gravity to press down. I'm starting to apply just a little pressure here into the ball. And then if it doesn't feel like too much, you can slowly start to tilt your knees over to the right. And just take a few breaths there. Feel free to move the legs around just a little bit, or you can certainly stay still. Maybe taking a few rocking repetitions and then just pausing at your end range. We'll take just two more breaths. Good. And slowly come on up. Grab hold of the ball, release it from underneath you. Slide the legs out and take a moment here in Shavasana just to observe any changes.